Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. All right, your host today is Thursday, and that means it's your School Down Thursday edition. So, Game 3, the Indiana Fever travels to the ATL for tonight's game for a winner takes all in the WNBA playoff. We have seen teams even the series up, except for last night's game with the Minnesota Lynx, who looked like they was about to fold, but the Valkyries couldn't hold on, and they are going home. So, with the Indiana Fever, we've seen the Indiana Fever play astounding defense in Game 2, stage of elimination, took it to the Atlanta Dream, had them rattled, had them frustrated, had them crying, had them putting out fans because they could not compete in Gamebridge. Now, we already know in Game 1, the Fever should have won that game. But in Game 2, the Fever say, hey, let's show them what it's really about. Game 3, there will be no doubt that the Indiana Fever will walk away going to the second round tonight. Yes, I said it. The Indiana Fever will continue. You know why? Because they feel like they got the Dream's number. They know what to do with them. See, when you play a team in the playoffs more than one time, you start to figure them out. Only key to this is Stephanie White. Can she duplicate the success from Game 2? That's going to be the question. Can she duplicate that success from Game 2? Because it's going to be very, very important. We need a Leo Boston to lay off them neck bones, them oxtails. We need her in that paint. We need her to get Brianna Jones frustrated. Brittany Griner ain't going to play that much minutes. Hell, Bree Turner did an excellent job coming into the game. Hell, Ariel Powers brought the energy. Her energy is unmatched, untamed, uncanny. She's just an X-Men on the floor. She brings that high voltage energy. And when she gets that crowd pumping, oh yeah. And you know she wants to redeem herself. She didn't play well on Game 1. Yes, she definitely wants to. So guess what? I believe Ariel Powers is going to bring that grain and grind. I think there will be a lot of fans, Indiana fans down in Atlanta tonight. I think the crowd is going to be mixed. I think this game is going to depend on, you know what I'm about to say, referees. Now, at the Fever, like I said in Game 1, the Fever did went to the line. The only thing about the Fever, they shot bad from 3. Imagine if they had hit some threes. If they had hit 6 threes, they would have won that game. They would have beat them. They got to the free throw line. So now we got to look forward to see what this is going to do. To me, now I wanted Stephanie White to make a lineup change and put Ariel Powers in because all sense of purpose, Odyssey Sims has been struggling in this playoffs. I'm not going to lie to you. Game 1, Game 2. She needs to show up tonight. She needs to show up tonight to so this team could win. Her points is going to help this team. She cannot make bonehead decisions. She can't get flustered. She can't look the logic or whatever. Kelsey Mitchell, we need that balanced attack. We don't need you to score 20-something points or 30. We need you to stay right around that 19-20 mark. Let Leo Boston get up in that 15, 16, 17 point range. Tasha Howard, give me 10, 12. You know what I'm saying? Odyssey Sims, you can give me 10 to 12. We need balance. We don't need somebody that scored 30, 40 points. This team doesn't have, they're not consistent in shooting. Oh, yeah. Atlanta Dream going to be mad. Alicia Gray going to be mad because she was pouting, stomping up and down, crying to the fan, getting into the fan. See, this is the thing. If you could get into her head early and get calls on her, she's going to take herself out the game. You know why? Because she doesn't have no self-control. She's all she's going to do is try to run through screens, pick up fouls. Oh, she's gonna try those same tactics that she tried in game 2. She's gonna try that, and it's going to be Stephanie White going to have to probably use a challenge as always, just to make sure that she getting a fair shake of the deal. But I do believe if this team come out and attack them like they did for the last 2 games. See, they attacked them in the first quarter, took the lead, and then they lost. They gave it up. They attacked them in the second game, took the lead, but never looked back. This time, they got to attack them in the beginning of the game and wipe them off the court. I do believe the Indiana Fever is going to run away with this. I think they're going to score. I think they're going to put so much pressure on the Atlanta Dream, where the Atlanta Dream is not going to figure out. I do believe Tipson's going to be a player in this game. And sad to say that Damiris Dantas, Brian Rucco had to correct us on her last name. It's not Dantas, it's Dantas. So you had to do the deep voice on that one for y'all. But I do believe that the Indiana Fever will win this game. I wholeheartedly believe this game. I think the league has not prepared for what the Indiana Fever was. I think because they figured Caitlin Clark is out, that they was not going to be able to win games or win in the playoff and sustain. And as we talk about the playoffs, we got everybody crying about the 1-1-1 format and trying to blame the Indiana Fever because the Indiana Fever played 2 games in Connecticut and didn't get a chance to bring a home game. And that led to them, Kathy Ingeberg, them changing the format to make it even, not just for the Indiana Fever, but have everybody. You see how it worked out for the Lynx, even though they swept their series, so it didn't help the Valkyries. You see what it did for Phoenix. Phoenix had the first game and New York won it, and then they won on New York floor. Now they go back to Phoenix to close out. You look at the Aces. The Aces had what? They had home field. Then they lost at Seattle. Now they go back to LA. So it's playoff basketball. But let Andre Carter explain it to you, because I feel like she was really butthurt about it.
I will admit, when I first heard the change, I was excited about it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Everybody gets a home game. That's great. But as I've watched it now play out and sitting here today, after watching those great games last night, I don't like it. I feel like this format, whether you win, the reward for winning isn't good enough. And the punishment for losing isn't bad enough. Think about this. Just hear me out for a second. As a higher seed, why do we play games in the regular season? Why do we even have a regular season? Because seeding matters. When you are the higher seed, you get 2 chances at home, and you can close it out at home. But if you lose to the lower seed, you should lose the opportunity to close out at home. If you lose to the lower seed, think about it. The Aces lost to the lower seed. They lost to Seattle, and they still get to go close out at home. I don't like that. As the higher seed, you should close out at home in 2 games. And if the lower seed snatches that from you on your home court, you lose home court. You should lose it.
Drea, I love you. You're my sis. But you lost me in this argument the moment you said, after watching last night's great games. That was the whole point.
No.
At one point in the WNBA, we had single elimination. That was crazy. Now, I think the next idea is maybe best 3 out of 5.
Janae.
But right now, I'm not mad at it, because if you make the playoffs, you deserve an opportunity to play at home. And I do believe that the lower seed, and what we're saying is the 1s, 2s, and 3s, starting off at home is great. Playing game 2 on the road is more fair, because otherwise depriving a team from being able to even be at home after they worked hard to earn a playoff spot is even crazier. And on top of it, it's even crazier for the fans who showed up over the course of the regular season to support said team and not see their team in the postseason.
Okay, so
I'm happy with the 1-1-1.
Okay, I will admit, when I
So me personally, this is how I view it. This is how I view it. The 1-1-1 fits naturally for the a 3-game series because you don't want a team to have 2 games at home and then you lose one of them games and they close you out and then you don't get to have a home game. So yeah, it makes sense in the first round. Second round is different because it was the best out of 5, so you have 2 at home for their visitor, 2 at home for the away team, and then you have 1 game if the deciding game is game 5. You know what I'm saying? You only got to win 3 games. So it's just like in the NBA. You know, you got to make sure it changes and works out the way it's supposed to be. You know, Andre Carter, man, it's like she wants her favorite team to advance, you know, where the other team doesn't get. At some point in time, it's going to change. You got to make the playing field even. It wasn't even for the Indiana Fever, who nobody got to see make the playoff for so many years and finally got to make the playoff last year with Caitlin Clark. And they played 2 games at Connecticut and then get a game at home. If they had got a game at home last year in this same format right now, this new format right now, the Indiana Fever probably would have made it to in the second round or to the finals last year. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, me personally, Andre Carter, and then she said, oh, well, the great games, you know, even though they had some great games, but she didn't like the format. Well, I mean, you can't have it both ways. And then here comes Becky Hammon. Oh my God.
How do you feel about the 1-1-1 format this year?
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
You look at a team like Phoenix, they have, dropping that one, they're going to have all the pressure unbelievably tough to now have to fly to New York. And New York has a tough one. Flying to Phoenix, back to New York, potentially back to Phoenix. I think this conversation came up last year when Indiana didn't get a game and they were upset. But for me, then people just got to you got to finish better. Either move it to 5 or it stays in the 2-1 format because it puts the higher seed at actually a huge disadvantage.
Hi, Coach. When we spoke a while ago about the offense, you mentioned Skylar seeing bigger assignments, more wings defending her and things like that. I guess my question for you is how important is it for you to kind of manipulate matchups to kind of, flip those before we're getting into actions, or is it more just about executing no matter who's guarding her?
A little bit of both.
Anyway, I could care less what Becky Hammon got to say. To me, it's like this. Just play. You think you're supposed to have 2 games on your home because you're the higher seed and the visiting don't have a home game? You crazy. And then you trying to fault Indiana because they didn't have a home game. Well, you got to think about it. The biggest star in the game, they didn't get to play on their home floor. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get to play on their home floor. So you mad because your team lost. That's what that was. Because guess what? If the Aces had beat Seattle, Becky Hammon wouldn't have been complaining. She wouldn't have been complaining. Your team got to go out and handle business. If your team is that good, now she's facing the pressure because now she feel like Seattle could come in there and beat them. And guess what? If Seattle beat them tonight, she's gonna complain even more. She's gonna complain and say, "Oh, it need to be the 5. It need to be the this." They're not gonna. Eventually, yeah. And when they get more teams, they probably will change the format in the first round to 5-game series. So, but who knows? But anyway, your team just got to play better. So, but anyway, as I was saying, game 3 tonight, guys. Indiana Fever wins it, goes to the second round, face the Storm or the Aces. Doesn't matter who they face to me. Doesn't matter. I just think it's destiny for the Indiana Fever. I still gonna watch out because you never know. If the Fever make it to the second round or get past the second round and get to the finals, there could be a CC return. That's a possibility. Like, comment, subscribe. Until the next episode, guys.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment.